Welcome to a deadline stream for UCL Fantasy. It's been a long time since December, but I'm here to answer any questions you may have. And this is a very important one because obviously we have unlimited transfers and this is the final time we can do that unless we have a wild card in play. So it's very important to have a team that we're pretty much happy with going into the rest of the tournament. We're going to have plenty of free transfers along the way, more than FPL. So for example, going into the round of 16 second leg, match day 8, we're going to have free transfers, and then going into the first leg of the quarterfinals, we're going to have 5, and then it repeats itself all the way to the final. So hopefully we're all well set. I've made a few changes from my draft and my team selection video from the other day. So yeah, hopefully this is an improvement. But quite a lot of it has stayed the same in terms of the foundations, and I haven't really changed my mind on that. And I'm also going to talk about the lineups that have come out and talk about some of the players that we have, and talk about some predictions as well as obviously all the Q&A stuff. So thank you everyone who has joined in, really appreciate it, and I've seen some of you waiting for a long time, so really appreciate it, and I'll get to all of your questions. So thank you very much. So Marcus, hopefully you're still here. Around 5 o'clock he posted this, so thank you for that. Thoughts on my team: Hits, Cancelo, Kimmich, Angelino, Foden, Coman, Casemiro, Angel Correa, Ronaldo, Captain, Haaland, Lewandowski, Mendy, Koundé, Freuler, and Romero on the bench. So I'll be honest, I'm just picking out the ones that maybe I don't like so much. So Freuler, and then I would say Angel Correa, I'm not too sure about. The rest looks very good. And also, you've got Ronaldo captain. You might as well captain Angelino, who plays today, because obviously it's an opportunity to change your captain. If Angelino doesn't do too well, or you just want more points from your captain, you can change it to Ronaldo on the Wednesday. So that shouldn't be an issue there. But yeah, apart from those players I pointed out that you could improve on, the rest looks pretty good. But I'll be honest, in terms of midfield, there's not too many options. I mean, compared to FPL, for example. Ali, number 11, says, my team, 4-3-3. Hits, Kimmich, Angelino, Koundé, Danilo, Coman, Jorginho, Llorente, Messi, captain, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Ederson, Stones, Foden, and Gundogan. So quadruple City, pretty much the same that I have, which is fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that's a good team. There's not really anyone there I could really point out that you could improve. Yeah, you've got a lot of budget midfielders, I guess, but 2 of them are Gundogan and Foden, who play in arguably the best team in the world right now. I do like that team, to be honest. Yeah, looks pretty good. Thoughts on my team: Hits, Cancelo, Diaz, Kimmich. A lot of people with Kimmich and Hits. Hermoso, Jorginho, Foden, Casemiro, Haaland, Ronaldo captain, Lewandowski, Mendy, Joao Felix, Koundé, Llorente. Yeah, that looks solid. Yeah, and you've got the right captaincy because obviously you've got no one playing today unless you change your team, Salman. So that looks pretty good. Again, thoughts on my team: 3-4-3. This is from, well, pretty much a number. Pretty weird. Thoughts on my team: 3-4-3. Oblak, Ruben Diaz, Angelino, De Ligt, Jorginho, Gundogan, Danilo Pereira, Llorente, Lewandowski, Ronaldo captain, Haaland, and on the bench, Ederson, Romero, Casemiro, Joao Cancelo. Yeah, everyone on your bench is well ordered because they all play on the last day and you can bring them on. And in terms of who you have, yeah, I mean, you could just captain Angelino once again because he plays today. And if he does really well, then you can just stick the captaincy with him and not have to worry about it going into the rest of the match days. You can obviously change your captain from each day. So just for any of you who are unsure of what I mean. So on the Tuesday, for example, we've got Angelino playing today for Leipzig against Liverpool. You can captain him. And if it doesn't work out on the Wednesday, you can captain someone else. Now, obviously, you're not going to have 2 separate captains. The captaincy switches. Obviously, it depends on you. So you could change it to Ronaldo or to Haaland on the Wednesday. And then next week, Lewandowski. And then on the Wednesday of the following week, yeah, you could just get Gundogan or whatever from Manchester City. So that's how the captaincy works. If you have someone playing today, then just captain them. That's the way I see it. And the chat isn't updating properly, so my apologies. But it's now sorted. Again, thoughts on my team by Soren Hanhan. Thoughts on my team: Hits, Romero, Koundé, Kimmich, Hermoso, Coman, Jorginho, Joao Felix, Messi, captain, Lewandowski, Haaland, Ederson, Gundogan, Cancelo, Casemiro. Yeah, it's a good team. With Ederson, just bear in mind, and I've got him myself, but he's only made 5 saves this season in the Champions League. So with him, you're mainly relying on clean sheets. But to be honest, with how good Manchester City are defensively, if there's any team that's going to keep a clean sheet, it's Man City. But if they concede 1 goal, then Ederson's pretty much useless and a waste of 6 million. But we'll have to wait and see. You never know. There may be times where he's called upon where he has to make 3 saves or more. But yeah, it's pretty good. Looking at the team, Hermoso's good. I had him, and I think he'll do well. João Felix, not too sure about, but then again, around this price, probably one of the best options. But yeah, it's a good team overall. Messi, Ronaldo, very good question. Now, I'll be honest, if I could, I would have Messi for this, the first leg. I would have him because he plays at home. Messi at the Camp Nou is a different animal, and I expect him to score against PSG, who, to be fair, they've been decent defensively, but under Pochettino, not so much as they were under Tuchel. But overall, if you had to pick, probably Ronaldo because he's got the better fixture. You're more convinced that Juventus will go through. With Barcelona PSG, it's 50-50. Obviously, it's swayed a bit more towards Barcelona than it would have before because of Neymar and Di Maria being injured. But yeah, ideally, you'd want to have Messi for the first leg, and for the second leg, when Ronaldo's at home, you could then get him and then captain him. That's the way I see it. And also, a good thing about having Messi is you could captain him on the Tuesday, or today, should I say. So, yeah, I would love to have him, but yeah, overall, Ronaldo is probably the better option. Cuadrado's injured, yes, I know. And that's something that I mentioned in my last video. I said he got subbed off at half-time. He is an injury concern, but just in case, there was a chance of him playing, I had him in my team, but he's injured, unfortunately. That's why I've replaced him with Chiesa. And let me talk about my team a bit before I go into the rest of your questions, and I'll also be talking about the lineups straight after. So in terms of differences, I've brought in Marcos Llorente, who just very, very good this season. Plays right midfield, plays centre mid. He's so versatile, and he's got that eye for goal. I remember, obviously, his performance against Liverpool last season at Anfield. I think for his price, probably one of the better assets. There is Casemiro, there's Jorginho, plenty of players. Emre Can. Apart from that, though, not too much. But I think Marcos Llorente, the source of his points are varied. He could get an assist, he can get a goal, he could get ball recoveries. So really like this guy. And also I do back Atletico to go through, although it's going to be a tough one. I think Chelsea under Tuchel are going to be defensive, or they have been defensive, and they've only conceded one goal, which was an own goal by Rudiger. But Llorente, I think, could do well. Chiesa is a bit of a differential per se, and I don't know why this is just... I don't want to make a transfer. What are you doing? What is this game doing? But anyway, yeah, Chiesa, let's check his ownership. Yeah, 3% ownership, to be honest. He's very explosive, but then again, I'll be honest, from Juventus, it's Cuadrado and Ronaldo for me. I really don't want to have Chiesa ideally, but I think for this first leg, he could do well. And Juventus, a lot of their attacks go through him, so pretty happy with that. And then the rest of my midfield, pretty much the same. I have Gundogan. Now, a lot of you would say, oh, but he's marked as a doubt. He is a doubt. Yes, he is, but with the news that came out today, just as I expected, he's fine. The injury isn't too bad. He may miss the Everton game on the Wednesday, but I think they're just wrapping him in cotton wool, ready for that first leg next week. So obviously, remember, Gundogan and Man City is another week until they play, so plenty of time for Gundogan to recover. And I've got a lot of City players. Ederson shouldn't be rotated. Then you've got Stones, Gundogan, Foden. Any of them can be rotated at any time. But the good thing about this is, going into that Wednesday next week, obviously we're going to have the lineups just as we do now, and we know who's going to play and all of that. So if I see one of these C players don't play, he'll just be on the bench, simple as. But yeah, pretty happy with this team overall. In terms of other moves I've made, yeah, I think it's pretty much the exact same. Obviously, I got Ronaldo in there now. Before I didn't have him. I did have Morata in my first draft, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the lineups first before I obviously go into your questions again. But thank you everyone who has joined in. Really appreciate it. Let's get the lineups up now. And the Barcelona PSG game, I have to say, that's the most interesting. So Angelino is playing. He's playing at left back. According to this, Leipzig are playing a 4-3-3, but they tend to play with 3 at the back. So I'm not sure how accurate that is. But for anyone who doesn't know, the Leipzig lineup: Galassi in goal, Mukiele, Klosterman, Upamecano, Angelino, Campbell, Haidara, Sabitzer, Nkunku, Dani Olmo, and Tyler Adams for Leipzig. And for Liverpool, Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kabak, Jordan Henderson filling in at centre-back once again, and Andrew Robertson, Thiago, Wijnaldum, and Curtis Jones are in the midfield. And then the same front three that we always know: Salah, Mane, and Firmino. So it looks pretty good. Also worth looking at the bench, but in terms of our assets, I think everyone that we have is pretty much starting. So yeah, I mean, wow, Liverpool's bench looks really weak. A lot of youngsters and players that maybe haven't proven themselves too much yet, but that's how it looks. And then let's talk about the lineup for PSG versus, I don't know why they're showing me some random leagues that I don't care about. Let's see. So Champions League. Let's see, Barcelona PSG lineups. Yeah, Ter Stegen, Dest is playing. He's back. Gerard Piqué is back, and I heard the news that he was, ready to play. That's a big boost for Barcelona. Lenglet, who has been very suspect this season. Jordi Alba, Frankie de Jong, Busquets, Pedri. Okay, he could be a good option there. Griezmann, Messi, Dembele. And then for PSG, Keylor Navas, Florenzi, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, Kazawa, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Paredes, Moise Kean, Marco Verratti, Mbappe, and Icardi up front. So pretty interesting there. Some very good picks. Oh, that's going to be a very interesting game, and I think could be a Messi masterclass there, but we'll have to wait and see. A lot of the time, Barcelona do let him down, but the main problem I see there for Barca is the defence. The attack should score at least a couple of goals there, but we'll have to wait and see. So thank you everyone who has joined in. Let's go through your questions. Once again, I'll try skim through these because obviously I was delving into my team and also the lineups and stuff like that, so apologies for that. Why Ronaldo over Messi? Because he's got the better fixture. I have higher hopes of Juventus going through than Barcelona. That's more of a 50-50 game. But I already said this, ideally I'd have Messi for this first leg and then switch to Ronaldo. But unfortunately with the team that I have right now, I'd have to downgrade someone else because I'm 0.1 million short because Messi's 12.1 million, Ronaldo's only 12 million. So I'd have to downgrade maybe Edison or something like that. And to be honest, I'm just quite happy with this team. But maybe I will make a change like that, have Messi in for this game. But overall, I think Ronaldo is probably the better option across the two legs, and it avoids me having to make a kind of a sideways move in a way for the second leg. But then again, I think if you can do it, Messi for the first leg and Ronaldo for the second, I think that will be best. But you never know. It doesn't always play out as you expect on paper. But good question. Thank you for that. I'm struggling picking Ronaldo or Messi. Yeah. I mean, same here. Obviously, ideally, I'd have Messi for this first leg. But overall, I just think, Ronaldo is probably the better option, a better fixture. Although I have to say, Porto have been good defensively, and Juventus, I don't know, there's something about Juventus I just don't like. And if Ronaldo doesn't switch things on in attack, Juventus are pretty lackluster. And I think Juventus are going to miss Cuadrado. I think that's going to be a big miss. So maybe having Chiesa and Ronaldo there, maybe not ideal. But let me show you guys. So let's say, for example, I do want to get rid of this guy and have Lionel Messi. Unfortunately, I just don't have the funds. I'm 0.1 million short, but obviously you can suggest what you want in terms of who I should downgrade. Most of you, I'm guessing, would point towards Edison, and to be fair, the amount of saves he makes probably not worth 6 million, but 0.1 million short, and I'd have to find it from somewhere. And I already explained with Gundogan, I expect him to play, or at least be fit, and I have a choice between him and Foden. One of them should definitely start. Happy with the quadruple City, treble Bayern. And then, I mean, a lot of people are going with En-Nesyri and Luis Suarez instead of maybe Haaland. But I just think Haaland's too reliable and too explosive. If you don't have him, he could cost you. But then again, it's just the front three I think will do best. But it's a tough one. How confident are you with your team? Pretty confident, but obviously kind of the main issues, obviously, I wish I had Cuadrado and that he was fit. But it's just not meant to be, and I'd have him instead of Chiesa. But apart from that, I wouldn't change too much. Obviously, Messi... if Cuadrado was fit, I could have him instead of Chiesa and just afford Messi up front and then make the switch to Ronaldo. But unfortunately, not to be. Apart from that, pretty happy with the rest of my team. Saw so many teams, but no one had 5 strong attackers like me. Salah, Lever, Suarez, Raz, Haaland. Could be bad or good for me, but I'm guessing you probably have a weaker bench. But then again, you can't have the perfect team. You can't have a great front 5 and then a great bench and then just pretty much cover all bases. It's impossible. First time rooting for Salah. Well, first time I'm rooting for him to blank, but he'll probably do something, to be honest. Messi or Lewandowski, after all, we can't ignore the GOAT. Messi or Ronaldo, after all, we can't. Yeah, I'm guessing you say Messi is. Gundogan, Sterling, Foden and KDB. What about these players? They play next week and have 2 matches versus Everton and Arsenal first, with Pep Roulette always being a threat. Who do you take amongst these? Gundogan for me. He's the most nailed, the best value from any of those players. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be eased back in. There's no guarantee he's going to play in the Premier League and the Champions League straight away. There's no reason to rush Kevin De Bruyne. City are doing just fine without him. So I think Gundogan is my ideal pick. But definitely in FPL-wise, UCL... maybe City will set up slightly differently. Maybe Gundogan will be a bit more defensive. You never know. Hopefully En-Nesyri scores a couple. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I think Dortmund could struggle, really, against Sevilla. How Suarez as a striker? Yeah, he's good. I mean, in La Liga, he's been tearing it up. But in Champions League, over the past few years, especially away from home, I know he has got a home fixture first. His record's been very poor in the Champions League. So just bear that in mind. But why is everyone putting Gundogan? Well, because I don't know if you've seen the Premier League, mate, but he's pretty much the informed player in the world right now. He's got more goals than anyone else across Europe's top 5 leagues in 2021. And just the value he offers. Also a route into that City team probably offers much more better value than the likes of Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne, who tend to be the most popular assets. So yeah, that's why Gundogan's so popular. Well, if he's injured, yeah, but he should be fine for next week. Obviously, it's a risk, but Pep Guardiola said today that he'll probably miss the Everton game, but should be fine after that. Not sure whether to go for Haaland or Messi, because Barca's playing at home while Dortmund is away. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I probably prefer Messi for this first leg, but second leg, definitely I'd go for Haaland. Up the Chelsea, says Blues FPL. You got a tough game against Atletico Madrid, I'll tell you that. Angelino or Messi captain today? Well, logically, I'd say Messi, but maybe Angelino's kind of the more differential pick, because if most people had both of them, they'd go for Messi any day. So maybe Angelino would be a differential, but I just go for Messi. That's my opinion, though. And if not, you've got plenty of opportunities to have your captaincy right. Ronaldo and Pedri or Morata and Koeman? Great question. I probably prefer Morata and Koeman, but then again, Morata's been very poor in Serie A and in all competitions since the last Champions League game. But in the Champions League itself, Morata has outscored Ronaldo greatly. So yeah, to be fair, Ronaldo did miss 2 games, but Morata's been offering far more value. But yeah, still good option. No Salah, surprised. Yeah, I tend to go with Salah, but I'm just not sure, to be honest. I'd rather spend the money in the attack. With Liverpool, I don't know what I'm going to get. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure about Salah. But then again, I think he'll punish me. Whenever I don't have him, he does really well. So just expect him to haul if I don't end up putting him in. Haaland and Cancelo or Messi and Stones? Oh, that's a tough one. I'd probably go for this first leg, Messi and Stones. But yeah, that's a tough one. There's not much in that. Bro, at least play Messi over Ronaldo. Juve are shit. Well, you say that, but Juventus went to Barcelona and won 3-0 there. So Barcelona can be quite bad on their day. And similar to Ronaldo with Juventus, if Messi doesn't do something, then Barcelona just struggle. And even when he's doing everything, he's creating chances, he's dribbling past players, making them look silly, and having some great shots, Barcelona can still lose. So yeah. Can you change captains? Yes, David Dennis. So hopefully everyone here, thank you, 100 people watching, really appreciate it. You can change your captain from each day. So if you have anyone playing today, they're going to be marked with this kind of icon saying, oh, look, starting lineup, then just captain them. And then if they don't work out during the substitution window, which I always talk about, you can change it. And you can change your captain to someone playing on the Wednesday. And then next week, you have 2 more opportunities if, let's say, your first 2 captains blank. So don't worry too much about the captaincy. All I'm going to say is just captain someone who's playing on the same day. So for example, today, Angelino, Messi, Mbappe, etc. Try captain those players. And then after that, if they just don't do the business, you can captain someone else. Leipzig will probably beat us. Angelino's a wonderful pick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe today they'll win, but I think Liverpool will, they definitely won't go down without a fight. It's going to be an interesting game. And if Liverpool just don't have any calamitous errors at the back and they transmit a bit more confidence, then why not? Liverpool definitely have more quality than Leipzig. But, football's not always played on paper. Which one would you recommend, Nkunku or Olmo? Probably Olmo, but Nkunku's a decent player. He can get some assists. He's always involved and pretty good player. Always linked to Arsenal, but yeah, I'd probably go for Olmo. I think he's on penalties as well. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah. Welcome, Mr. Kinslayer. Pedri is a good cheap option. Yeah, people have mentioned him to me before, and yeah, he's starting today. He could be the difference in the midfield for Barcelona. Yeah, I think he's a decent option. However, I'm not too convinced. I prefer the ones, obviously, that I have. Otherwise, I'd go for Pedri. And just like I said with Messi, it's a 50-50 game. It could go either way. Maybe Barca will win this first leg, but going into the second leg, how are we to know who's going to go through in the end? Obviously, if you think Barca are going to go through, then Pedri could be a good long-term asset for you. No Salah. Well, I mean, I can't fit everyone in, mate. I mean, what I could do is maybe move Messi to Morata, or should I say Ronaldo? I don't have Messi. I'm just showing what I would want to have. I could move Ronaldo to Morata, maybe Koeman to Salah, but I think even then I'd be a bit short. But yeah, I'm not too bothered really, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think I'd be 0.1 million short of Salah. But I mean, what have I seen from Liverpool to really be like, oh, I really need Salah? It's just him. Obviously, he could do absolute madness today, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. I can't fit everyone in. Between Hermoso and Koundé, who would you pick? Probably Koundé because he's slightly cheaper, so if you have a very good defence. And Hermoso's playing, I mean, I don't know about a tougher team, Chelsea, Dortmund. Dortmund right now are really poor, but if Dortmund had a good manager right now, like Marco Rose, who's going to be joining them next season, then yeah, I would really fancy them. But yeah, I'd probably just pick Koundé. But then again, Hermoso might be the better pick long-term FPL book. Hits needs to get a clean sheet. Nothing is impossible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. And when Berkey comes back, I think he should be back for the second leg. Yeah, I think he's going to lose his spot, and he's been making several mistakes. I'd be very surprised if Dortmund keep a clean sheet at Sevilla. 1 second. Yeah, Hermoso or Felipe. Felipe doesn't really start. He's not a nailed guy. If you want someone from Atletico Madrid, get Hermoso or Savic. I wouldn't really go anywhere else in the defense. Lodi's been rotated from time to time with Carrasco, so yeah, I'd probably do that. Chiesa or that guy from Juventus, I'm guessing. I'd probably go for Chiesa, but you never know with Juventus. There's just such an iffy team, so I feel a bit awkward doubling up on them, I'll be honest. But still, if Cuadrado was fit, it's a no-brainer for me. It'd be him and Morata or Ronaldo, probably. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure about Juventus, I'll be honest with that. I put Danilo in from Juventus. Thoughts? Yeah, he's a good pick. I had him in the group stages. Was a bit disappointing at times, but yeah, with him, you're mainly relying on clean sheets, if we're honest. He can maybe get an assist or whatever, but yeah, Juventus' defence isn't too good. But over the 2 games against Porto, you'd expect maybe 1 clean sheet. So he's a good pick. You know, on paper, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. Opting for Messi over Haaland, but need to downgrade Koeman. Any replacements for Koeman? I mean, I don't know who you have, but I'd say Chiesa, Foden, obviously Gundogan, Llorente. Apart from that, let's see the look of the midfielders. I mean, Joaquin Correa would be good, but it's Bayern Munich. I expect Correa to get a goal or an assist across the 2 games, but Lazio are probably going out. So Sergio Oliveira, although for anyone who does have him, he's 1 yellow card away from suspension, so that's something to bear in mind. Casemiro is still a good one. Obviously, he's much cheaper. You're mainly relying on ball recoveries there. Jorginho's a decent pick. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, obviously you have to downgrade, but I think Sancho could actually outscore Haaland over the next 2, but obviously I still prefer Haaland. Let's see. Szoboszlai, I've heard people talk about him, although, not for me. And he's not even starting today, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I'll be honest. When I look at the midfielders, it's very easy to narrow it down. So I looked at around 10 midfielders that I'd be interested in. And Salah, Sterling would be others. And I just don't like the look of the midfielders on this game. I'll be completely honest about that. Juve won against Barca, but if you saw the game, Barca dominated. Ronaldo did what he does best, nothing else. I mean, you're a United fan, no? I've seen some United fans, I wouldn't say hate on Ronaldo, but, you know, maybe they prefer Messi or they just don't like Ronaldo that much. I mean, I don't think it was a penalty anyway, or it was a soft one, but yeah, Juventus were just more clinical. They looked more dangerous when they attacked, and they were solid at the back. That's why they won the game. Barcelona just completely poor at the back, and also Lenglet making a stupid mistake for yet another penalty, I believe. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say Juventus is a better team than Barcelona, but they're both pretty inconsistent. I think Barca have a better attack, but Juventus have a much better defense. That's the way I see it. Can you make subs and change captain after deadline? Yeah, you can. So let me show you because a lot of people do ask me this. So if you go on the website or the app, there's a substitution window between each day. So for example, after the Tuesday, up until 8 o'clock, on the Wednesday, there's a substitution window where you can make those subs. You can put everyone from your bench into your starting lineup, and you can change your captain to someone who's playing on the Wednesday. And you can keep doing this up until these matches end for the first leg. And then going into the second leg, the same thing. So the games go across 2 weeks. So you have basically 4 opportunities to nail your captain and all of that. So hopefully that has made it clear for you, and hopefully you do well. Morata plus Salah or Messi plus Olmo? Tough one. I'd probably go with Morata and Salah, to be honest. I'm not too sure about Olmo. Then again, I say that, watch him do really well now, but yeah, I prefer Morata Salah on paper anyway. If you go Haaland to Suarez, keep Ronaldo and get a cheaper option instead of Foden, you could get Salah instead of Koeman. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's just I prefer Haaland over Suarez. I think he's worth that extra million. Obviously, Haaland hasn't been back to his best. I've said this in my last couple of videos, but yeah, it just takes 1 or 2 games for him to get back into 5th gear. But yeah, that's a tough one. Good suggestions, though. Thank you for that. Messi or Haaland? For the first leg, I'd probably say Messi, but second leg with Haaland at home, I'd probably go for him. But that's a tough one. Thoughts on Ilicic? He will definitely play. I'll be honest, from Atalanta, Romero is the standout, and then I think Muriel and Zapata would be the others I look at, but I'm not interested in anyone else from Atalanta. You could obviously go for Sportiello as a backup keeper, but really not interested in anyone else, even Ilicic. Haaland or Benzema? For me, Haaland. What's your favourite team? It's Arsenal, as I talk about in my FPL videos. But yeah, Angelino will bomb down the wing though, and I think the formation will change then. Yeah, I agree. And actually, when Leipzig deploy a three at the back, Angelino plays as a centre mid, and sometimes he plays as a left wing back. So yeah, he's very versatile, and he's a quality player. He's their top scorer in the Champions League this season, Angelino, and even top assister. So having him in my team, I'm really just relying on attacking returns. I don't expect a clean sheet, if I'm being honest. And actually, just to kind of shed some light into my thought process, going into the second leg, some of the free transfers I'm thinking of making is Angelino to, I don't know, just basically get rid of Angelino. I'll obviously have a look there. If I didn't have Edison, then it would be definitely Angelino to Cancelo or Diaz. Chiesa might go to Cuadrado. It's a bit of a sideways move, but I do prefer Cuadrado. And apart from that, yeah, I'd look elsewhere. Maybe transfer out a player that's on the verge of elimination, maybe Romero or something, but I doubt I'm going to do that. But yeah, it's good to always plan ahead, and yeah, it's good to have in mind who do you think you're going to transfer out ahead of the second leg, and who do you think is going to go through, because that plays a big part into how your team's going to look going into the quarterfinals and going forward. But it's a tough one. I mean, this year, Messi's probably been the best player in the world once again. Same with Gundogan. Ronaldo has had a very good start to the year, but Messi's been very, very good. I don't think he's actually blanked in any La Liga game in 2021, so he's obviously someone I've got my eye on, but it's very hard to fit him in, and I'd have to downgrade Edison probably. Maybe I could do Edison to Szczesny, do Ronaldo to Messi, or if not, downgrade one of these strikers to Suarez or Morata or En-Nesyri, and then upgrade Koeman to Salah. It's all possible, to be honest. And Gnabry, I think, sustained an injury. That's why I'm a bit more convinced with Koeman, because normally these men, they rotate Sane, Koeman, and Gnabry. Just talk about being sport for choice on the wings. But yeah. Llorente or Jorginho? Llorente for me, because I think he's more likely to go through. He's got more potential for a goal from open play. Obviously, Jorginho's on penalties. So that's a big thing in his favour. I just prefer Llorente, but there's not much in it. I think Jorginho's a good pick also. Normally, I wouldn't say that, but yeah. So if a captain gets 2 points, you can change it. It doesn't matter if he gets 2, 6, 10, 0, 1, -1. You can change it. You can change it no matter what. That's the beauty of it. And also, it's a bit more forgiving in that way in terms of captaincy. Yeah, Benzema is a great shout. I agree, FPL Penguin. Ronaldo playing as a number 9 in a 4-4-2 for Juventus, yeah. And they've been playing Chiesa on the left. And when Cuadrado's fit, he plays as a right back or as a right mid. He's very versatile, but unfortunately, he is out. Ronaldo and Messi are GOATs, but Messi is just more talented and is visible. I'm not biased. Yeah, I agree. I think Messi's more complete. He's a better dribbler, better passer. And on top of that, stats say it. He's a better goal scorer than Ronaldo too. But obviously, Ronaldo, in terms of in the air, he's a monster. He's a freak. So, yeah, great player. But yeah, obviously, I'm also Team Messi. But yeah, Ronaldo's still great, obviously. How about En-Nesyri plus Messi for the first leg and Ronaldo plus Haaland for the second to avoid downgrading Koeman? Already have Foden, Casemiro, Llorente, Gundogan in midfield. I completely agree. I think for the first leg, I think that duo that you said, En-Nesyri and Messi, should outscore Ronaldo and Haaland, at least on paper. But yeah, that looks good. And then you can make the switches for the second leg. Can we change your captain each day, bro? Yes, you can. Bear, like I described before. And as I answered to all of you, you can change your captain on every single day. And yeah, you can also make substitutions. And that's why on my bench I've got 3 City players and an Atalanta player, because they all play on the final day. So they can just be substituted on, and it's not really a big deal. I don't have to worry about my bench up until the last day. Haaland looks to have fizzled out now. Hasn't been great recently in Bundesliga. Yeah, I agree. He hasn't been his usual best self, but yeah, I think he can definitely turn it on. Angelino or Alexandro? I'd probably go for Angelino, more attacking threat, but Sandro's more likely to keep a clean sheet. From Juventus' defence, I'd probably say Danilo, Szczesny in goal, or De Ligt. I'd probably go for those lot. Angelino's not playing tonight. He is. He is playing tonight. That's why he's got the starting lineup thing on there. And I read the lineups and he was in it. Romero or Stones? Romero for me because of the ball recoveries. But Stones is a great option. Probably way more likely to keep a clean sheet. I try to have both of them if you can, or at least one City defender and Romero. Romero is just a ball recovery, just really good at that. PK is back. Wouldn't that make the defense of Barca a lot stronger? Yes, it would. And even then, I wasn't thinking of getting PSG players. If Neymar was fit, he's someone I would consider. Apart from that, not interested. Obviously, if they do go through, someone to look out for also is Marquinhos. He's very, very good. He can get points from any single type of thing you can mention. Mbappe over Haaland is a good shout or no? I mean, it's not a bad one, but I'm not sure. Mbappe, he went over a year without scoring in the Champions League, and then in the 5-0 win against Istanbul Basaksehir, he got his goals. But yeah, Mbappe he's explosive. When he does well, he does really well. But yeah, I probably prefer Haaland still. But looking at it now, I think normally Haaland's a no-brainer, but right now there is an argument to be made to not go for him. But that's just something else to consider. I'm downgrading Ronaldo to Morata to switch from Olmo to Salah. That looks perfectly reasonable, to be honest. I expect Ronaldo to outscore Morata, but I think Salah should outperform Olmo significantly. Llorente or Jorginho, as I already said, Llorente. Angelino isn't even on the bench. He is, mate. Come on. Let's look at the lineups again. I think what throws people out... Let me read the lineup again first before I look like a fool. Yeah, Angelino is playing. It says he's starting, and on the Champions League site, it says he's starting. I think they call him Tusande or something like that because that's his surname. So if you see that in the lineup, don't worry, he is playing. He's number 3. So if you see the number 3 in the starting lineup for Leipzig, he is starting. So don't worry about that. It says here that he's starting. So yeah, if you do have him, don't panic. Yeah, there's no need to spam the chat. I won't answer questions that are spamming. So yeah, I have to put me on timeout. Keep Olmo and Sterling or change them to upgrade Hermoso to Angelino? No, I mean, Hermoso's fine, to be honest. I'd probably keep Olmo and Sterling. I wouldn't downgrade them to players you're not as happy with because you're literally downgrading 2 of your players in your eyes to upgrade someone else. How come your team is 2.2 million over budget when I try use it? Well, probably because I have bigger squad value, especially if you're new to the game. Then, yeah, your squad value is not going to be as high. I have never chased prices, especially on this game. But yeah, whenever I've got someone in, they tend to go up in price straight after because they're so highly desired. Captain Angelino or Salah? Tough one. That's a really tough one. I'd probably say Salah, but very tough. It could go either way. Bernardo or Gundogan? Gundogan for me. Do you need a strong bench? You don't need it, but in my case, I would like to because there can be rotation, there could be COVID, there's different things that can happen. And I just prefer it. Obviously, I could downgrade my bench and have a really, really strong 11. I could have Salah, the same front 3, and a good defense and keeper. But yeah, just not too interested at the moment. Yeah, no Salah. No Salah. I mean, you can't have everyone in there. If I do change my mind, then I will put him in. But yeah, you can't have everyone. I'd have to downgrade probably one of my strikers and other players alongside that. UCL Gundogan will play FPL. No, exactly. Yeah, Gundogan should play probably the Arsenal game. Even then, if he doesn't, he'll just be rested for the Borussia Mönchengladbach game. But yeah, I already discussed this before. There's no need to spam the chat. Can we make transfers after the first leg? Yes, you can. This is what I discussed. You can make up to 3 transfers going into the second leg and then 5 transfers after the round of 16 is finished going into the quarterfinals. So yeah, I discussed all of this in my first draft video. I talked about transfers and how much you can do, and I made it very clear. And if you still have any doubts, go to the rules section of the website or of the app, and it explains everything perfectly about transfers, captaincy, substitutions, you name it. Who would you choose out of Ronaldo, Messi, Hermoso? And I'm guessing that's Savic. In terms of a pair, there's not much in it. For this leg, I'd say Messi and Hermoso, but yeah, I mean, you could just go Savic and Ronaldo, probably the better long-term options. Is there a knockout table instead of overall? No, it's just an overall table, just like in FPL. I don't think there's like a knockout or a cup per se, not that I know of anyway. Suarez or Morata? I'd probably actually go for Suarez. He's the talisman of Atletico Madrid. If they score, he's more likely to be involved. And Morata, despite how good he's been in the Champions League, I don't know if he can sustain that over the knockout stages against better opposition. Reina or Sportiello, probably Sportiello, more likely to go through. I expect Lazio to hold a few goals. Even if Lazio can put up a good fight and score a few goals themselves, I really would be surprised if they don't concede more than 2 goals in either game. Any changes you suggest to this team? Almost have 4 million to spend. I'm not sure what your team is. It's not popping up here. And if you haven't already, like the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps out. And get in your questions, obviously, and I will answer. And I'm actually going to have a bit of a look at my team and analyze, because I may make some final changes, but obviously it's not ideal to do that. But yeah, I'm guessing I've seen a lot of people with similar teams. I've seen, and this is after I made it, I've seen people with the same front three. I've seen people with Coman, Chiesa, Foden and Gundogan, at least one of them, and one City defender or two. Koundé obviously is kind of obvious, he's so cheap. Angelino is very popular. Kimmich, I mean, he's, I wouldn't say must have, but he offers so much potential. And Romero because of the ball recovery. So I wouldn't say it's a template team, but a lot of people will have a similar team, especially, you know, if they've just been looking on Twitter and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously I do have some differentials in there. Chiesa is still a differential despite how many people you may see on YouTube or on Twitter having him. But yeah, just wish Cuadrado was fit. That would have been perfect, in my opinion. What about Real Madrid players? For me, Casemiro, probably the standout. I don't trust the defense. Their attack, Benzema's a good option, but I think there are better options. Suarez, Morata, Ronaldo, Haaland, Messi, Lewandowski, Neymar when he's fit. So really it's just Casemiro for me. And also, I don't know, Real Madrid are too unpredictable, so just not sure about that. Do you think Zinchenko or Stones will play next week? I mean, they're not fighting with each other for a spot. They could both play. Yeah, I think it's possible that both of them will play. I mean, if you're asking me, I think Stones will play with Diaz and Cancelo will play with Zinchenko. And if not, they just put Walker in and Cancelo left back, or maybe just bench Cancelo. Who knows? But it'll be something like that. I'd be surprised if they deviate from that. Edison and Jorginho or Szczesny and Llorente? Good question. I'd probably say Edison and Jorginho, but not too much in it. Why are you not captaining Lewandowski? Well, like I already explained, you captain someone on each day. Lewandowski will be my captain on the Tuesday of next week when Bayern play. I mean, if I just captain him, I waste 2 opportunities to nail my captaincy with the likes of Haaland, Ronaldo, Angelino. You can change your captain from each day. So if you're unsure, check the rules section or check my first draft video where I explain everything perfectly, and you obviously have a much better understanding of how the game works. What are you going to do about Gundogan? I'm going to keep him because he's most likely going to play next week, and I have the option of having him or Foden at least starting. And if they both start, that's great. They could both do really well. So, I mean, I don't really see a need to downgrade him to someone else because I expect him to start, and for his value, probably the best around. Why no Liverpool players? Do you think they're going to lose? Well, because I'm going with players that I'm more confident will go through, and with Liverpool players, Salah's the only one I'd be interested in. Their defence isn't good. In terms of the forwards, they don't have anyone because none of them are really classified as forwards apart from Firmino, and he's just not worth it. So it's literally Mane or Salah and Jota when he's fit, and there's just no place for a Liverpool player right now. Is there a site to check price changes like an FPL? Not that I'm aware of. I've never seen anything on Twitter or on anything about that, but if there is, I will let you guys know, of course. Edison hits Kimmich, Romero, Angelino, Koundé, Stones, Foden, Gundogan, Coman, Casemiro, Llorente, Messi, and Nesiri, Lewandowski. Yeah, that's a good team, Varad. Any changes you suggest? Have 4 million to spend. No, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's very similar to my team, so obviously I'm not going to be like, oh, that's a terrible team. You could maybe upgrade En-Nesyri to a Suarez or something else, but still, I think for the first leg, En-Nesyri could do very well. Angelino and Stones or Diaz and Danilo? Probably Angelino and Stones, but I think the second combination is more likely to keep a clean sheet. With Stones, I'll be honest, he's not injury risk, a rotation risk, although he is injury prone too. But yeah. Already answered your question about Reina or Sportiello. I said Sportiello. And yeah, no need to spam the chat. Sergio Oliveira, a good pick. He is, but as I said, Gabe, he is a not rotation risk. He is a suspension risk. 1 yellow card and he is out for the next game. And I mean, Porto can actually do a job on Juventus. It's possible. But yeah, I don't know. With Sergio Oliveira, probably one of the better options around his price. worth the risk, but there is a risk with the yellow card, so just be aware of that. Messi or Angelino as captain, I've already explained this, I said Messi, but if you want to go different, Angelino's probably the better option in that case. Olmo and Messi or Rakitic and Haaland? Tough call, I think. Yeah, it is. I'd probably say Olmo and Messi, but yeah, more so for the first leg. And going into the second leg, maybe the other option is better. But yeah, I'd go for Olmo and Messi. Edison and Jorginho or Szczesny and Llorente? Already answered this question, Archie. I said Edison and Jorginho. Best goalkeeper? Manuel Neuer, Szczesny, Edison. I think those are the standouts. Bono's actually a really good one. If you don't have Jules Koundé, I think Bono, because he could go through, he actually makes a lot of saves. And if you've looked at Sevilla's defensive stats, very, very good. They've kept a lot of clean sheets in recent games, so that's what I would say. What happened to Gundogan? He got a knock against Spurs. He felt his groin, so he came off. He asked to be substituted off, and he's fine. He's going to miss the Everton game tomorrow in the Premier League, but he should be fine for the Champions League, and that's why I've got him, and I'm not worried about him in any way, shape or form. Who should I get for my free forwards? I already have Lewandowski and Haaland and 10.7 million left in the bank. Oh, I mean, yeah, in that case you could get En-Nesyri, Suarez, Morata. Yeah, I'd probably go for one of those three, in my opinion. Yeah, anyone who spams the chat is going to be put on timeout or blocked. Liverpool players, no Liverpool players right now. Salah's the only one I would think of. Ideally, I'd have him over Coman, but I literally have 0 million with this team, so I'd have to downgrade a forward and maybe some other players around there. Stones or Cancelo? Stones offers better value if he plays, but Cancelo, much more attacking potential. So if you have the money, Cancelo, but if you're on a bit of a tight budget, then just go Stones. Is the Porto keeper a good shout? He is. Marchesín, he's been very good. And Porto have one of the best defensive stats of any team in the Champions League. I believe they're top 3 or 4 out of any team, along with the likes of Manchester City and even PSG are up there. But yeah, I think he is a good option. The problem with him is that he's likely to go out. If he had a better fixture, then maybe. But then again, Juventus, out of all the top teams that Porto could have faced, probably one of the better picks they could have got. But yeah. So much patience to answer the same questions and deal with people that spam. Yeah, I mean, it happens, but yeah, I mean, I don't really see the need. I have to probably make it clear from the beginning, if you spam the chat, I'm not going to answer your question because I try to get through to every question, but if you spam the chat, then there's no point. Do you think it's worth to get Messi, Lewandowski and Ronaldo in my team by having a cheap midfielder who will not play? Well, there's 2 ways of going about it, Santiago. So you could have, like me, good squad depth, you've got more options, but if you go for premium options, you're more likely to get points in your starting lineup. But as long as you have an 11 and maybe 1 or 2 on the bench you could do something, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So there's no right or wrong in here. Anything can happen. The premiums can outscore the cheaper ones, or the cheaper ones outscore the premium ones. But yeah, if you're happy with your team overall, I'd probably go for it. When I got your team, I am down by 0.2 million euros. How did you pick your team? I just have slightly better squad value. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, in my opinion, I'd recommend, just going with your picks, unless you really think, this 11's going to do well, then fair enough. But if you're trying to maybe find alternatives, maybe instead of Kimmich, you could go to someone else. Edison, you could just go to Szczesny and have one City defender and you cover Juventus' defence as well. Or you could go for Marchesín. There's a lot of different options you could go for. From Ronaldo, you could go to En-Nesyri or any of the strikers really. Suarez, plenty of options up front. In the midfield, it's where a lot of things will be template. A lot of people are going to have the same things. At least one City player in there. They're going to have Coman. It's going to be very similar. So if you have Salah, for example, and he does well, then those that don't own him are going to be in trouble. But yeah, the midfield is very template, in the majority of cases I've seen, because there's just not so many options there. But yeah. Best second option keeper. I mean, I just say Hits because he's cheap and he should play, at least for the first leg. But Sportiello's another one. Obviously, when you're saying second keeper, if you can afford it, I'd say Bono from Sevilla. I think he's really good. He offers a lot of points potential. Is Sterling overrated? As a UCL asset, maybe, but then I say then he'll probably score a lot of goals. As a player in real life, I want to say he's overrated, but I don't think he's, that good. You know what I mean? He can be electrifying on his day, but I think there are probably much better players in his position. So if you change your captain, if you change it back to him, he will get his points back. You can't. So basically, you can change your captains up to 4 times, but you can't revert your captaincy decision. So if I captain Angelino here, he doesn't do well. Then I captain Haaland, and then I captain Lewandowski, and then Gundogan, and they all, I don't know, somehow get less points than Angelino. I can't revert back to him. But you can change your captain up to 3-4 times. Obviously, 1 on each match day. So hopefully that clears it up, but you cannot revert. You cannot go back on a captaincy decision. Same with your subs. Once you hit confirm on substitutions, you cannot get them back. And any points that you have on your bench because of the subs you've made are lost forever. They're going to have like a cross in there and the points won't count for you. 7.7 million midfielder. Obviously, if Jota and Ferran Torres were fit, I'd say them, but they're not. I'd probably say, yeah, Chiesa, Marcos Llorente, Jorginho, Casemiro, Sergio Oliveira. There's plenty of options around 6-7 million-ish, but yeah, I'll be honest, there's not too many. That's why the midfield, in my opinion, is quite weak in UCL Fantasy compared to FPL. How do I donate? I mean, I've got no revenue streams at the moment, but I appreciate it. If I do obviously start one up, I'll let you know. But yeah, there's no need to. All the content is free. But thank you a lot, Zumed. Who should I get for my top 3 forwards? I already have Lewandowski, Haaland, and 10.7 million. Oh yeah, I answered this question already. So yeah, Oblak and Danilo or Szczesny? Tough question. I'll probably say Szczesny. Yeah. Hopefully you got that, Uso. Oh, Szczesny and Savic. Yeah, I'd still go for that. Szczesny and Savic. I prefer that one. My front 3 is Haaland, Lewandowski, and Suarez, but I'm thinking of doing Suarez to Benzema. What do you think? Benzema could be a good differential, but I don't know. There's something about Suarez, and against Premier League opposition, I would probably prefer him. But if you have a gut feeling with Benzema, go for it. The best thing you can do is follow your gut. If it doesn't work out, you'll feel better about it because, yeah. If you obviously you had a feeling about something, then you don't do it because someone else recommended something, you're just going to feel bad, in my opinion anyway. Salah or Angelino captain? Good question. I'd probably go for Salah, but Angelino's not a bad shout at all. Is Jorginho playing or rotation risk to Kante? Good question. I do think Jorginho will play, but he is, I mean, anyone at Chelsea really is a rotation risk. It could actually be Kovacic that drops out, so it'd be Kante and Jorginho. But then again, I think, yeah, 2 out of those 3 will play. One of them will be dropped. It could be Jorginho, but if he does start, he's on penalties. Offers a bit of value in terms of ball recovery points, but yeah. Who could be replaced in your team? So going into the second leg, Angelino, Chiesa. Apart from that, pretty happy with it on paper, but depending on injuries and stuff, depending on who's on the verge of elimination, I might make my third transfer going into the second leg based on that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it overall. And I'll be honest, Ederson's not ideal, but he covers City, he's nailed. And I back City to get clean sheets. But if he doesn't get them, then I wouldn't say I'm screwed, but obviously I've spent a lot of money on that keeper for nothing because he most likely won't get too many points. Is Chiesa a good choice? I think he is. He's a differential as well. And to fill in for Cuadrado right now, I think he's probably one of the better alternatives. So that's the way I see it. Is Davis too expensive? Already have Kimmich. Yeah, I mean, I think if you've looked at Bayern's defensive stats, despite the fact that I backed them to go through and, Lazio, I think, could still score a couple of goals. I think one defender is enough. And if you want to double up on Bayern's defense, I think the best way to do it is Pavard and Kimmich or Neuer and one of the 2 I just mentioned. So, yeah, Davis and Kimmich, I think you can spend your money better in terms of value. What are your thoughts on De Jong over Foden? Not for me, because Foden offers far more attacking potential with De Jong, mainly ball recovery points, and also Foden more likely to go through. More of a rotation risk, obviously I concede that, but yeah, I think Foden's a better option. Chiesa or Foden? I'd probably go for Foden. Plays in a better team, is a better player, and I back him to get points so long as he starts, but obviously that's a big if. Szczesny and Haaland or Ederson and Benzema? I'd go for Szczesny and Haaland. Super Saud. Thanks, mate. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Soren. You too, and thank you for all your questions and your positive vibes. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Do Bartek, I answered your question about Sterling being overrated, so hopefully you caught that. What about Kovac? Not for me. I already said with Liverpool, I need to see more to start believing in their defence. Salah and Mane are the only players I'm considering, and obviously Jota when he returns. Not interested in anyone else from Liverpool right now, especially Kabak. Hits, Mendy and Casemiro or Ederson, Keller and Olmo? I'd probably go for Hits, Mendy and Casemiro. Robert, hopefully you got that. Strong bench is a must. Having the starting 11 for every match, you should definitely have a good bench to bring on, no risk. Fair enough. I just think that obviously in a normal season, I definitely advocate, having a strong 11 and maybe just one option on your bench if needed. But because of COVID-19, because of rotation, the shorter preseason, all of that, the lack of breaks, I do think having a strong bench is a big advantage. But there's no right or wrong way to play the game. Obviously, there's going to be times you're going to have good or bad luck. Someone with only pretty much 11 good players could have everyone starting, and then someone who has a really good squad, 15 players, they could still not even fill up to 11 players because of rotation. So it's about how the luck also comes on your side or not. Chiesa or Casemiro? I'd probably still say Chiesa for attacking potential, but long-term Casemiro's a better pick. I just have Chiesa to fill in for Cuadrado, and when Cuadrado's back, I'd probably get him in. Davis or Coman? Coman for me, Dylan. Picked Pessina just because. Pessina. Will Gundogan go forward more often when De Bruyne plays? I mean, De Bruyne was, playing most of the games when Gundogan started his goal-scoring run in game week 13, I believe, against West Brom. So, yeah, I still think Gundogan will get a lot of points. Obviously, now that De Bruyne is out, Gundogan's just been on a mad one, and I do expect the numbers to regress, all the underlying stats and also his goal output. But, yeah, I'd probably say that. Now, let's look at actually Champions League predictions, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. At the moment, I've got 2-1 Barcelona. Barcelona to score first, Messi to score first. Leipzig 2-2 draw Liverpool. Maybe that's just being bold. I might actually change it to Liverpool win, but I'm just not sure at the moment. Liverpool are just such an iffy team. And then 2-0 Juventus. I've got my joker activated on that. I will admit, though, it's not an easy game. It could be 1-0, could be a draw. Porto could even sneak it. And then Sevilla Dortmund. I do back Sevilla to win the first game. But yeah, I mean, that's just the way I see it. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I might just go for something like this. I did originally have Leipzig to win the game because of Liverpool's form. But I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. And it's in a neutral venue. I believe they're playing in Budapest. So that does change things slightly. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about those predictions. Foden or Gundogan? For me, Gundogan, especially if he's fit, and he should be. So yeah, no need to spam the chat. Thoughts on Mount? Yeah, I mean, he's been good for Chelsea, probably one of the better players this season. But from Chelsea, I think, yeah, Jorginho, maybe Rudiger, Alonso, if you back him to start. Apart from that, I think there's better options across all positions from other teams. I think Dortmund-Sevilla time is really even, and I think Sevilla can score some goals putting on En-Nesyri. Yeah, fair enough. I believe the same, but Sevilla have been very good defensively. I think Sevilla have a better defence than Borussia Dortmund right now. But in terms of attack, I think Dortmund on their day, they're electrifying. So I back Sevilla to win the first leg and Dortmund to win the second leg in Germany. But we'll have to wait and see. Benzema, Suarez, Morata or Haaland? From those four, I prefer Haaland, but all of them good options. Gundogan more than likely to play? In my opinion, yes. But if you don't think so, do not get him. It's a risk still. But the way Pep talked about it, the way I saw Gundogan's injury come to pass, I think it's not serious. He's just going to miss the Everton game in FPL, but it's not really a big problem here. So yeah. You sure you don't want to get Messi? I already discussed this. I would like to have him for this leg anyway. But you know what? I can't afford him. I'd have to downgrade elsewhere. And I'm happy with my double City defence. I'm happy with 2 City attackers. And happy with the rest of my team overall, I think. But we'll have to wait and see. The one that I'm probably least confident about is Chiesa. But if Juventus do click, I do expect at least one of Chiesa or Ronaldo to produce the goods, but who knows at this point. It's a tough one. Hopefully I've made the right decision there. First leg would be hotter for Messi in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree, but I'd have to make sacrifices elsewhere. And also it's probably a guaranteed transfer I'd want to make because going into the second leg in Paris, I'm not too sure if Messi's going to shine there either. But I think Messi could be, on course for a really good showing today. Will Atletico keep a clean sheet? I think in the home game they will, but that's just my opinion. I don't think they're going to keep one across both legs. Thanks for the stream. Best of luck. Thank you, Andrew Baker, and hope to see you next time. We need to increase our rank now because as soon as we go into the quarters and semis, we'll all have the same players. Yeah, I mean, the group stages is probably the most important, part of it, but it is what it is. You can still, go up in rank massively. There's going to be a lot of inactive teams. There's going to be a lot of captaincy. I mean, to be fair, if you... I'm not going to say anything, but it's easier to nail your captaincy. So you are right in that, but yeah. There's still some people who don't know how the substitutes work and even captaincy changes. So you're going to go up in rank if you obviously do well and you have a good team, but there's no guarantee. With striker, Ronaldo, Lewandowski or Haaland could be replaced. Any of them really, but maybe for the first leg, maybe Haaland. But yeah. Defender lower than 5 million except Koundé. I mean, Sanusi is one of them. His ball recoveries is insane. Hermoso, Savic. I think those are two of the better ones. I had them in my team. I think they could do well. Yeah, Rudiger's another one. So there's plenty of options around that price. Not too many, but there are. And Araujo, I mean, if he started, but obviously he's not ready yet anyway for Barcelona. But yeah, there's plenty of options. Didn't Cuadrado start in Juventus' recent match? He did, but he got substituted at halftime because of an injury. And if you check UCL Fantasy, he is marked as out for the game. He should be back for the second leg, but he's out for the first leg. So yeah. Will Pavard play? I think he will. There's no guarantee, obviously. But yeah, he should. And from buying defence, I already said this. Kimmich, Pavard and Manuel Neuer, they're probably the best defensive assets you can get. Then in attack, Lewandowski and Koeman are the standouts. Definitely Lewandowski. Thanks, mate. All the best. Thank you. It's Brandon, and good luck. Good luck, Archie. I used Joke on a 3-1 Liverpool win. Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling Liverpool might bounce back. That's the thing. And I might actually change my prediction. Not to 3-1, though. Sevilla will win. I think so, too. That's why I've got 2-1 Sevilla. You know what? Might bottle this, but I think I'm going to go for a Liverpool win. A lot of 2-1s, though. I don't like having a lot of 2-1s. Liverpool. I don't know about Liverpool, man. I seriously don't. Thank you, Adiyita, for joining in. Good luck to you as well. Captain Angelino or Messi today? I think Messi, Danny. Thank you, Uso. Dylan, your squad total is more than mine. I've got in the exact same team, both Jorginho, Casemiro instead of Llorente, Chiesa. Yeah, but then again, I mean, I would recommend not copying teams. Obviously, take ideas and stuff, but yeah, the beauty of UCL Fantasy and FPL is just, you know, sometimes going with some differentials. Maybe Chiesa could be one that works out. But yeah, my squad value is probably lower than a lot of people, but it could also be higher than the average player. But it doesn't matter too much anyway. Squad value is just one thing. I mean, some of the cheaper players could outscore the premium ones, so not too worried about that. Captain Messi or Salah today? I'd probably captain Messi. I have a feeling he's going to do really well. I mean, I would love to have him. I might actually bottle this in the last second and make some changes. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do... This is something I've got in my mind because ideally what I'd want to do is change Angelino in the second leg to Cancelo. So what I might do... Don't know if this is bottling or not, but get a cheaper keeper than Ederson. Have Szczesny, who I back to go through. Not too confident in Juventus, I'll admit. I'd keep Stones and Gundogan probably. Keep the rest of the foundation there. And I'd probably go for Lionel Messi. Will I regret this? Maybe. Maybe. No Salah? No, but you can't have everyone. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I'm happy with the rest. I'm happy with having 4 City. Or should I say 3 City now, but... yeah, obviously Ederson's a guaranteed starter, so obviously I do lose that part. So if Stones doesn't play, no City cover. But I might do this. Obviously sometimes late decisions don't turn out the way you want. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with this and still cover Juventus. So yeah, I've got Messi and Szczesny in, 0.4 million left in the bank. Confirm. And yeah, I think Messi's going to be my captain. Captain saved. There you go. Messi's in. And for the second leg, I'd probably want to get Ronaldo in for Messi, Angelino to Cancelo, and then maybe Chiesa to Cuadrado. That's something I'm thinking about. But yeah, this is something I've been dwelling on for quite some time. Obviously, I've been answering your questions. But that's my final team. Last minute decision to get Messi and a captain armband. It's just a bit of a gut feeling I have. I don't trust Barcelona. I've said this for multiple videos. I still don't. And look, just in time. Subs available after points calculation. But yeah. Let's see. And then yeah, I've got Szczesny ready for tomorrow. And he'll come in for... Oh yeah, well I do have Hits and Szczesny to be fair. But yeah, I think I'll go for this. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Thank you to everyone who's joined in. And if you have any final questions or whatever, I will be answering. And wait, is that... Did I see a goal already? Surely not. The game just started. I think I might have seen that notification wrong there. No, yeah, the game's just started. Imagine Salah scored already. That would be mad. Captain Messi or Salah today? Yeah, I said Messi already. 3 minutes left. Yeah, well now 0 minutes left. Messi, Olmo or Haaland Foden? I'd probably say Haaland Foden. Made a mistake going for Szczesny and Hitz playing on the same day. Yeah, I know, but I think Szczesny, yeah, I'd probably back him to do something there. And I'd probably start him. I'll be honest, Hitz is just a backup keeper in case I need it, in case Buffon suddenly randomly plays. Hitz is just someone I don't expect to get points at all. And going into the second leg, I actually think he's going to lose his spot. Berkey is back. I'm not sure when, I have to check this, but he should be back for the second leg. If not, if Dortmund go through, he'll be back for the quarterfinals. But yeah, it's a good spot there. What happens if you sub in, let's say, Stones and he doesn't play? Well, Soren, just to make this clear, you don't have to sub him in yet. You know what I mean? So what you could do is wait for the lineups to be announced at 7 o'clock on the Wednesday next week. And if Stones doesn't play, just keep him on your bench. Or if he's in your starting lineup, just substitute him out for someone who is playing. So that's why I've got this set up the way I do at the moment. But yeah, that's just the way I see it. I've gone with Taylor from Leipzig just for fun. Yeah, I mean, sometimes going for these differential picks, you might have a gut feeling it goes right. And the fact that I just changed the captaincy and my, one of my main strikers now from Ronaldo to Messi for the first leg, it's a big call. And also going from Ederson to Szczesny. Ederson's more likely to keep a clean sheet, but Szczesny offers better value, probably more likely to get some saves there. So yeah. Man, that was an intense last switch. Yeah, it was. But it's just, I literally saw it. I saw a way, just a gut feeling of Messi. He might not even do anything today, but it is what it is. I think in the home games, Ronaldo and Messi tend to shine. And yeah, I think just going into the second leg, I'll probably just do the switch anyway from Messi to Ronaldo. But I do expect Ronaldo to do well against Porto, especially now that I've got him out. But, the game is all about spontaneity and fun. And wait, Angelino's already got 2 points. Jesus Christ. Probably should have kept him captain. And let's see. I don't think it tells you why he's got the points yet, but yeah. Going for my gut as well with Messi. Good luck, man. Yeah, sometimes you've got to go with your gut. And as I kept discussing, it's very important to sometimes make those switches from the first to the second leg. And that's something I don't think I did last year, where I looked more at the overall picture going into maybe future rounds. Ronaldo's probably the better asset that way. But for this game specifically, for the first leg, I think Messi might be the better option than Ronaldo, but who knows? Overall, as I kept saying in this chat, Ronaldo is the better option, but I'll be having him back for that home fixture against Porto. But thank you everyone who has tuned in. Really appreciate it. And if you enjoy this sort of content, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. So then I'll make more UCL Fantasy live streams. And also the same goes for team selection videos and all of that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I post all the latest news there. And also talk about how my team's doing, and I interact with all of you. You can send me your teams there through private message, or whether in a public tweet or whatever. So appreciate everyone who is here. If there's any final questions or comments, I'll obviously answer them before wrapping up. But thank you everyone who has been here, and I hope you have a great week. So yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maru-san, and all the very best of luck to you as well. Really appreciate you being here. Archie says, no, I meant to get in Messi, but I ran out of time. Yeah, that's why I was looking very closely at the time, and I saw I had 2 minutes left. I said, should I do it? Obviously, transferring in a keeper that's obviously playing on the same day as Hitz is obviously not ideal, and it's not something I usually do, but Hitz in general is someone I just have on my bench. And Messi, I already discussed this for the whole stream. I was talking about Messi being better probably for the first leg, in my opinion, because he's playing at home and PSG are slightly weakened. And then in the second leg, I'll do that switch from Messi to Ronaldo. And Porto are decent defensively. That's why I kind of got put off a bit. But I probably will be playing Szczesny over Hitz. And even then, I don't know, I have a sneaky feeling Sevilla could go through. So Hitz will probably be rendered useless going into the future. But yeah, pretty happy with my team overall. Maybe, obviously, the Ronaldo switch will punish me. And maybe even Ederson, especially if Stones doesn't play. But yeah, with Messi, don't worry too much. You probably have someone like Ronaldo in there anyway. Doesn't matter, just it is what it is. If it doesn't go our way, then there's not much that we can do. Good luck. Thank you, OJT. Oh my god, I can't read right now. Good luck to you as well. Girish, thank you. Good luck to you as well, and thank you for joining in. Really appreciate it. Soren, yes, mate, you got the GOAT in. Yeah, in my opinion too. Definitely the GOAT of club level, and hopefully he does the business, but we'll have to wait and see. Super Sal, thanks for the stream. Dylan, good luck. Thank you for joining in as always. Really appreciate it, and all the very best of luck in UCL Fantasy and in FPL. How many transfers can be carried forward? Yeah, you can make up to 3 transfers going into the second leg, but don't make any transfers now. Obviously, wait for all the games to happen, and then you can base your decisions, on who you think is going to go through, who's likely to go out based on the first result, and also maybe just some switches like Messi to Ronaldo, which I'm going to plan to do, and stuff like that. Angelino on the bench for me, sad life. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, so basically with UCL Fantasy, yeah, as I always say, just put people who are starting on the same day in the starting lineup, and anyone who plays in the future. So, for example, I've got Chesney who plays tomorrow, I've got City players, and I've got Christian Romero. Just have them on the bench, and then they can come in when needed. Yeah, no transfers can be carried forward. Yeah, quality content. Thank you, Brian Omolo. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Soren, once again. And I think Olmo, he nearly scored. He nearly scored. Yeah, I'm going to be watching the games now. Yeah, very, very interesting. I'm probably going to watch the PSG Barcelona game, and Messi's my captain, so probably going to be more emotionally invested in that. But yeah, Angelino, I had him as my captain originally. Let's see how he does. But yeah, hopefully Messi does something. But if he doesn't, he's probably not going to last long in my team anyway. The plan is to have him for this game. But yeah, Olmo already scoring. I remember talking about him last year. I was saying this guy, great value he could be. He's a great, great player. And he just never delivered for me, really. But yeah, let's see. Hope Messi wins UCL this season now. I doubt it, I'll be honest. Barcelona are just too poor, especially defensively. And the way I see it, Bayern, Manchester City are actually one of my favourite teams to win it. I think defence is really important. And if Barca had a better defence, then yeah, I think they're a strong contender because their attack is quite good. But yeah, their defence is going to let them down, I think. Maybe even in this game. Who knows? But yeah, thank you everyone who's joined in. Really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed it, like I said, smash the like button. And really appreciate all the support. And there will be future live streams if you guys enjoy this sort of content. And all the very best of luck for Matchday 7 in UCL Fantasy. Enjoy it. Hopefully we can enjoy it. No rotation and all of that dumbness. And good luck in FPL. There's going to be games tomorrow for the Premier League to conclude Game Week 24. And I'll be posting more videos going into Game Week 25. But thank you everyone for joining in, and I'll see you next time.